I'm making this video because I went through a divorce in the last year. Okay, so I came back onto the market, if you will. And in recent years and learning about red pill content, and although I don't like how it's delivered, there's no denying that it fucking works, okay? And this is really how the world works, at like a primal level. On top of that, there's people that I've spoken to recently that struggle with attracting a decent woman or a woman in general. So I wanted to make this video just to talk about that. The thing is that this is really primal stuff, and it's kind of, you know, when you think about it, it's really fucking basic and it's really simple to understand. There's so much information and we think we're so fucking smart that if something isn't complicated, it's not worth our time. And that could not be further from the truth, okay? But if you look up online how to attract a woman, you'll see things like, oh, practice good hygiene, maintain good posture, make eye contact, smile a lot. You know, obviously you wouldn't want to be frowning at every girl that you're trying to have sex with, but if you walk around smiling and making fucking weird eye contact with every girl that you're trying to have sex with, or even just in general, people are going to think you're a little bit weird. And attracting a woman really has zero to do with any of those things. It's not even about game, okay? There's so much fucking bullshit around this, and a lot of it is aimed towards young men and men that have less experience with women, because they know that they can be manipulated and it will get views, okay? Now, this is my take on it. I put together like a Venn diagram, okay? Now, John Venn was like a guy who, I think he's like in the 1800s or whatever. He studied logical thinking and philosophy, okay? And he's the one who invented the Venn diagram, which when you see it, you'll recognize it. You'll be like, yeah, okay, I've seen that before. So I made a Venn diagram of the only three things that you need to attract a decent woman, or someone, you know, that you would consider as desirable, or any woman that you want, if you know what I mean. Like, it's so fucking simple. Really, you don't even need all three of these things, okay? These are just the main three things that you really need, but you only need one of them, like, pinned down to have fucking real success. And when you see it and you hear it, you'll be like, that is true. That is 100% true. A lot of this stuff comes from red pill content, okay? And red pill basically means you are optimizing your life to fuck as many girls as possible. Listen, if you are optimizing your life, your whole life, solely to have sex with as many girls as possible, you are a degenerate and you're mentally disabled. And this way of living is not the way. And you know this because if you look at people like Andrew Tate, okay, he's gone Muslim now. He's denounced the degenerate life. If you look at Dan Bilzerian, he's in a relationship now. All these guys that have had sex with hundreds, or in Dan Bilzerian's case, probably thousands of women, are saying, do you know what? This is not the way. I actually prefer being in a relationship. And these guys, they've been to all the parties. They've fucked all the hottest girls that you can think of. And they're now saying, do you know what? It's not fulfilling for me to behave in that way. So, like, think about that. It's a case of really, like, the grass is always greener, right? You might have had sex with, you know, lowballing, maybe 5 people, maybe even less than that if you're younger, okay? If you're a bit older, you might have had sex with 100 women or 10 women, you know, and you think, oh, I'd like to have sex with more women. Well, look at these guys that have fucked thousands of women. They're telling you it's not all it's fucking cracked up to be. So don't believe everything you see on the internet, or you have to be a certain way, okay? It's bullshit. That said, if you haven't had a lot of experience, or you are completely oblivious to how the world fucking works, let's get into it. Okay, so the first section, the first circle on the Venn diagram is physique, okay? You know, that's why the aesthetic physique has got so big. You want basically the V taper, okay? But I call it a kite. So you have like down from the shoulders like so, and then wide back down to a slim waist, okay? But really, women are looking for a man who has some sort of physical stature, somebody who's bigger than them, someone who is able to protect them, someone who is able to overpower them, okay? Women like that. Feminine women, I'd like to add. If you think this is really primal stuff, Okay, so if you were to go back 1,000 years, 2,000 years, a woman would pick the man who is strong, okay, who looks like he could kill if need be, even. And I don't mean like a violent, just come out of prison, scars all over his face and a bit rapey. I mean like someone who's, you know what I'm saying, like physically able to protect her if something were to happen. Okay, the second part of this Venn diagram, social proof. Okay, so women want a man who has some kind of social stature, a man of importance, you know, even someone who other men respect. But a really good example of this is someone who has a good, strong social media following. If you've got 100,000 followers, a woman is likely to look at you and say, okay, this guy is someone. He know, do you know what I'm saying? Like, women like social proof, okay? And the third part to this Venn diagram is money. Okay, you know, like I was saying, 2,000 years ago, men were the hunter-gatherers. Okay, they would want to know that a man could go out and hunt and kill and catch food for them. Okay, but the modern world doesn't work this way. Okay, we don't need to do that anymore. So we have money. Okay, so if you have zero money, you can't provide anything. A woman wants to know that she can, you know, have everything that she needs to make the nest. Okay, a feminine woman, again, it's really obvious. And as I was saying at the beginning of this video, you don't even need all of these things, okay? All you really need pinned down is one. If you have a fucking immaculate physique, okay, you will attract way more women, okay? How many times, right, okay? Tell me if I'm wrong, okay? But you can be a guy who has a really strong social media presence, okay? And you can have zero money and you can have not a good physique, okay? And I've seen this for myself. I know this to be true. And you can still have sex with a lot of girls. If that's what your aim is, okay? You can have a strong social media presence, no money, no physique, and still have sex with girls. You can have an amazing physique, no social media following, and no money. And if you look fucking creme de la creme, obviously you can't be a really, you know, genetics are going to have a part to play in this. If you have a really strong physique, you can still attract a woman. And again, how many times have you been walking down the street and seen a guy who's not in shape, who's not good looking, probably doesn't have a social media presence, normally a bit older, but he's got a young girl on his arm because he has fucking money, because he's getting out of a nice car? And like, guys, it's so fucking simple. Like, it's so easy to understand. And I know it's not nice, like it's not nice, but this is the way the world works. So you can get women just by having money. When you combine all of these three things, that's what you get in the center of that Venn diagram. And that's the fucking golden spot. That is Andrew Tate. That is Dan Bilzerian, okay? You attract so many women like you will not know what to do with. Listen, Dan Bilzerian, he was just, I don't know if you know about the book, The Setup. I mean, everybody knows who Dan is, right? I only recently started to look into who he is and what he did, you know? He was basically a Navy SEAL who got really good at poker, and he started playing. He managed to get to play with wealthier people because people thought he was a trust fund kid. And Dan basically figured out that he could get a lot of women around him, and the fact that he had a lot of women around him and he wasn't trying to have sex with them all per se, the more women that he had around him, the more other women would want to have sex with him, because women, he found out, could be very territorial, and he created a feeding frenzy kind of atmosphere. And again, he was somebody who got himself into immaculate shape. He took steroids, okay, made himself appear really masculine. This is someone who's really struggled with women for a majority of his life. Okay, then he started earning more money, and then he had a massive social media presence, okay, social proof. And then he started fucking cleaning up, and he's just like world famous. And that's, you know, I haven't read The Setup, but I could bet my fucking left nut that it's basically just exactly what we've just discussed. It's talking about how to hone all of these things so that they work in your favor, because it's a big deal for men to never be able to attract a girl or feel like that they don't have value. Okay, especially sexual market value. Everybody wants to be hot, you know? Everybody wants to be good in bed. Everybody wants to be that guy who men respect, or, you know, so I just wanted to make this video to help anybody, because, you know, I panicked after I was going through my divorce, and I was like, I'm back on the market. I'm fucking 41 years old. What the fuck am I going to do? I better fucking start playing the game. And don't get me wrong, like, I always knew that this was the way that the fucking world works, but I just ignored it. I completely ignored it, which is the fucking dumbest thing that you can do, is to think that you are above it and you are better than it, because you are just shooting yourself in the foot. So do not do that. Listen to these 3 things, okay, that we've just spoken about, and start fucking working away on them. Not even for the sake of optimizing your life to fuck as many women as possible. That's shallow. Please don't do that. Having a good aesthetic physique, or just a good physique, is going to help you in life, okay? You're going to feel better. It's going to be exponentially better for you to do that. Having more money is not just about attracting a partner. It's so you can give more, you can be more charitable, you can help more people, you can provide for your family. Okay, so don't just take this as like shallow advice. Okay, I really want this to be a video that helps people and makes sure that you understand that this is not at all just for attracting women. Okay, this is things to incorporate into your whole life. Wow, I felt really passionate in this fucking video. Um, guys, remember, it is your God-given right to be successful, and it is your responsibility to reach your potential.